सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
परात्मा
सोपाधिकत्वात् प्रकृतेर्विकारात्
सोपाधिकत्वात् प्रकृतिर्विकारात्
कार्यत्वहेतोः सुकृतक्रियायाः
कार्यत्वहेतोः सुकृतक्रियायाः
विकारसङ्घातसमाहितत्वात्
विकारसङ्घातसमाहितत्वात्
पञ्चानामपि कोशानाम्
नामपि कोशानां
निषेधे युक्तितः श्रुतेः
निषेधे युक्तितः श्रुतेः
तन्निषेधावधिः साक्षी
निषेधावधि साक्षी
बोधरूपोऽवशिष्यते
बोधरूपोऽवशिष्यते
योऽयमात्मा स्वयं ज्योतिः
योऽयमात्मा स्वयं ज्योतिः
पञ्चकोशविलक्षणः
पञ्चकोशविलक्षणः
अवस्थात्रयसाक्षी सन्
अवस्थात्रयसाक्षी सन्
निर्विकारो निरञ्जनः
निर्विकारो निरञ्जनः
सदानन्दः सविज्ञेयः
सदानन्दः स विज्ञेयः
स्वात्मत्वेन विपश्चिता
स्वात्मत्वेन विपश्चिता
मिथ्यात्वेन निषिद्धेषु
नित्यात्वेन निषिद्धेषु
कोशेषु एतेषु पञ्चषु
कोशेषु एतेषु पञ्चसु.
What we can do is this. We can chant śiṣya uvāca.
शिष्य उवाच
मिथ्यात्वेन निषिद्धेषु
नित्यात्वेन निषिद्धेषु
कोशेष्वेतेषु पञ्चषु
कोशेष्वेतेषु पञ्चषु
सर्वभावं विना किञ्चित्
सर्वभावं विना किञ्चित्
न पश्याम्यत्र हे गुरो
पश्याम्यत्र हे गुरु
विज्ञेयं किमु वस्त्वस्ति
vijñeyaṃ kimu vastvasti
svātmanātra vipaścitā.
svātmana atma vipaścitā.
Yeah. So, kaha asau anatma was talked about. What is this anatma? To which the pañcakosha prakriya was said. Annamaya kosha, gross body is not atma. And then the subtle body is not atma. Pranamaya, manomaya, vijñānamaya is not atma. Then anandamaya, the subtlest kosha is also not atma. This was said. And what is that Atma was said in shloka number 61, which we saw earlier. ऽयमप atma svayaṃ jyotihi. Some ways to point to Atma was said. Pañcakosha vilakshanaha. Vilakshana. It is different from Pañcakosha. So now śiṣya uvāca. In some books the word śiṣya uvāca will not be there. And it is understood that this shloka is now said by the student. And the student is now saying, listen to this whole thing. And he is saying, okay, let's see what, hey guro. See the word hey guro there. So you can bring that forward. Hey guro. He is addressing the teacher. Hey guro. So, Sambodhana Prathama, Guru. And that is what gives us the clue that this is said by the śiṣya. And so, some books don't say śiṣya uvāca. Other books do mention explicitly śiṣya uvāca. For our benefit, we will just start it with śiṣya uvāca. So, he is now saying, niṣiddheṣu na paśyāmi. Okay, we will start with the verb. Na paśyāmi. Paśyāmi means I see. Na paśyāmi means I don't see. I don't see. I don't see what you are talking about. What you want me to understand, I don't see it, really speak. You said pañcakosha vilakshanaha, previous shloka, āyamp svayaṃ jyotihi. Okay, so he is going to say, I don't see it. Means I don't follow it. Why? Okay, he is going to do that. So, mithyātvena niṣiddheṣu kośeṣu eteshu pañcasu. So, when I do this pañcakosha vilakshanaha that you mentioned last time, every time you taught me annamaya kosha, the atma is not annamaya kosha. So nishedha has been done. So that niṣiddheṣu. When all the pañcakoshas are negated. Negated means not destroyed. Negated means cognitively understood as not atma. So that part he understood properly. So niṣiddheṣu, kośeṣu, yeteshu. These pañcakoshas are there that you talked about, and niṣiddheṣu pañcasu. Alright, then all these 5 koshas are understood as not atma. Okay, and atma is pañcakosha vilakshanaha. The maximum I can go to is deep sleep. Maximum means what? The negation part. Deep sleep is a very good state to appreciate. Because time is also not there. Space is not there. Correct? Somebody asked the other day the question, Guruji, one thing I did not understand. When did the jiva begin? We say jiva is anadi, Anadi is beginningless. But if only I knew when I began, then I can go to Bhagavan and ask him, why did you begin me at that time? Who asked you to begin me? You're jobless or what? Simply you want to do something and you created me, right? Like that I can argue. So you tell me, this only I don't understand. When? But the catch is this, right? That question when you ask when, kab, kada, okay, in Sanskrit, kada, eppoludhu, what is it in Telugu, what do you say? Eppudu first puttina, modaluga eppudu puttina nenu, correct? This is the question he asked first. That has been my doubt. After studying all this, that is my only doubt. If that is your only doubt, you are doing pretty good. You are doing pretty good. And because if he says cub, a cub means what he is saying is, cub is not lion cub. Cub is Hindi cub. And then that means he is asking, Guruji, this time, there is something called time axis. There is a past that is going back. Okay. 200 years back, British colonization, 1000 years back, 1500 years back, Chanakya, and then Patanjali, and 2500 years back, Shankaracharya, all this going back all the way. That is past time. Present is now, future is going to happen. You keep this axis. In this axis, you tell me when I was born. That is what he is asking. I am asking him, how can I keep this axis? Every day you are killing this axis in deep sleep. Every day you are finishing off this axis, time axis, in deep sleep. Time is a concept, my dear friend. There is no real thing called time. If there was a real thing called time, I will tell you in that time axis when you were born, and birth also will be real. But this is not real. This is vyavaharikam, and that vyavaharikam is, that too, it's a conceptual vyavaharikam. I hope you are following me, correct? It is a concept. We agree with all that concept. We agree it is morning 6:30 here, etc. We agree. It's convenient. It's very convenient. Without time, transaction will become difficult. Without reference to time. Those days also we had reference. Before the clocks were there, we had a reference. They will use the positions of planets, lunar, and of course sun's position is always there during the day, and so not a problem. They used to somehow find a way to do it. So that time, that which is mithya, you're asking me to assuming mithya is satyam, you tell me when I was born. How I can answer that question? How? Vedanta ko devanta karte hain kya aapko? You can't do that. So therefore, that this śiṣya is saying, I have understood up till this Anandamaya kośa, and in deep sleep it is all total blank. I have come up to total blankness. Total blankness. And so that is all I see. That's what he is going to say later. Sarvābhāvaṃ vinā kiñcinna paśyāmyatra he guro. Other than sarvābhāvaṃ, other than total absence of everything. Sarvābhāvaṃ. Vinā. Other than this complete blankness, emptiness. Other than emptiness, I don't see anything. Okay, this is where our acharyas use this as an opportunity to explain this state of blankness that people want to achieve in meditation. Everybody is after this. Because the state of blankness, which happens naturally in deep sleep, it happens naturally and it's enjoyable. Anandamaya kośa it is. Why it is called Anandamaya kośa? Because only Ananda is experienced. Ajnanananda though, that is fine. Ajnanananda, experienced. And so nobody says, I hate to sleep. Nobody says. They might say, I hate to sleep in Guruji's class, they might say. But what to do? Guruji's class is creating sleep. What can I do about it? And so, but then the deep sleep is enjoyable. That's why the man gets up in the class and says it is refreshing. And so refreshing means what? That sleep is there. That sleep, that ananda is natural in deep sleep. In meditation, if the meditation is done properly and you are able to achieve the thoughtlessness, initially in meditation it is thoughtfulness, correct? It's full of thoughts. Mind is going all over the place. In fact, it is going places where you did not intend also. This is what happens. That happened to me when I first sat in meditation. 1990 or 1989, I think. First time Swamiji came to Purdue University, we invited him and he conducted a meditation session. I could not sit for half an hour. I could not sit. Then afterwards I realized, wow, this is what it is. So it is all thoughtful. And so imagine if thoughtlessness were there, how enjoyable it will be. That's what he's referring to. And that because the thoughtlessness is well known to be a source of joy, at least in our culture and these Eastern cultures is well known. So whether they know it or Shastram or not, this idea of calming the mind is always there. Meditation results in a calm mind, and I want a calm mind. That's all. I want peace of mind. Very simple. With all moksha and all you keep. I want peace of mind. That's all. This moksha and all, sometimes very humble they say, hey, this Sanskrit and all I don't know, Veda I don't know, Bhagavad Gita I don't know. All I want is some peace of mind. Good, very humble and very honest. So that peace of mind is required, and so our Acharya says, hey, this peace of mind that you achieve by somehow somebody taught you this thoughtless meditation, okay, and you thought that is moksha. Because the fellow who taught you also says it is moksha. What to do? That is how some sampradayas are like that. And so, no. Swami Paramathanandaji says, if a student comes and tells me, please teach me meditation, I will tell you, don't worry, Krishna himself will teach you meditation in chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita. We are only in chapter 2, okay? So we have a little more time to come. And the student says, oh, I see, chapter 6. So goodbye Swamiji, I'll come. Tell me when you are teaching chapter 6, I'll join your classes. Swamiji thought he was smart, but outsmarted now. So anyway, that is why Swamiji would say, hey, first Shravanam is important. We know in our ashrams and all, we won't, for beginners, we will not highlight meditation so much. Nothing wrong. Do meditation. It's always good. You can get some relaxation. Get used to it. That kind of basic meditation anybody can do. Any kriyas people are teaching all over. Practice all that. Nothing wrong. But Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nidhityasitava. He doesn't say Dhyatavyaha, Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nidhityasitavyaha. No Upanishad says this. Constantly Shravanam is all there. Because problem is confusion. Meditation is, Dhyanam is required at some point, and until then Shravanam is required. And so, that's by the way. And so that is why he says here, I went into this thoughtless state. I have been there and I don't see anything. I am shunyaha. That is why shunya is very attractive, correct? That shunyavada, so attractive it is. Attractive means what? Attractive to assume that I am shunya, I am void, I am nothing. Because that is the basic. Finally, I cannot go beyond that, I can't go. But wait a minute. Wait, let's slow down here. This is where you have to really slow down. Really slow down. And what is it? What did you say? I see nothing. Correct? Good. I see nothing. Just stick with that. I see nothing. I see nothing. Okay. Do you exist? Who sees nothing? I see nothing. I see nothing. Okay, good. So you exist or not? Then how can nothingness see nothingness? Not possible. Do you exist to see nothingness? Yes, I see. I am existing to see nothingness. That is what we need to pay attention to. It is like last weekend, I cancelled my trip to go to Rishikesh. I was supposed to be there. And then we found a delegate to go there from Rishikesh. He happened to be in Rishikesh. So it was just across the Ganga at Paramartha Niketan. That workshop was there, weekend workshop. And so he went there. And he was already late. And he sent me a picture saying, nobody is there in this hall. There's nothing in the hall, correct? Now, there is nothing in the hall means, do you exist or not? Yeah, I exist, there is nothing in the hall. That is the meaning. Same way here also. There's nothing in the mind means what? So you have to think through all these things. Then I told him, no, they must be having breakfast in that case. And so there must be some 20 people or so. 20, 25, 30 people must be there. So that we understand in that context very clearly what is what. But here, this śiṣya is saying, na paśyāmyatra. Atra means here. Means having come to this point where you talked about Anandamaya kośa also, and you say in the previous shloka you said naivayam anandamaya paratma. Then you said Atma is not Anandamaya. Atra, at this point, I don't see anything. That's what he says. Okay, and then look at what he says. Kimu vijñeyaṃ kimu vastvasti. Kimu vastvasti. Vastu means thing, something. And in this case, vastu is not something, it is Atma. Vastu is, in Vedanta, the word vastu refers to Brahma or Atma. Vastu, it's called vastu. Alright, kimu vastu asti vijñeyaṃ. It's a rhetorical question. What Atma is there? What Vastu is there now? Like that. That Atma that you are talking, what Atma is there right now? Nothing is there. It is like somebody is saying, two families are talking to each other. Oh, you joined your son in that school? Oh, that's not good. What can he learn if he goes to that school? Because that school is known, very well known as not reputed. Not a reputed school at all. You made a mistake. What can he learn there? What can he learn there means he cannot learn anything there. Ityartha. Right? We say that often. Right? What can he grow in a desert? What can he grow in a desert means you cannot grow anything in a desert. That is the meaning. That is the meaning. So, that is what it is. Vijñeyaṃ kimu vastvasti. There is no vastu at all. There is no Atma at all. Which is to be vijñeyaṃ, which is to be understood, which is to be known. You told me earlier this vastu has to be known. And so, the way to do anvaya of this sentence is what? Kimu. There is two words there at the end. Svātmanā atma vipaścitā. Okay. Svātmanā atma vipaścitā. I hope you split that. Okay. Svātmanā vijñeyaṃ. Vipaścitā. It's the exact same phrase that Shankara used in the previous shloka. Look at previous shloka number 61. Towards the end he says svātmatvena vipaścitā. Correct? Svātmatmena vipaścitā. What would you understand that there? Vipaścitā. Vipaśyit, a wise person. A person who knows this. And by that wise person, svātmatmena viñeyaṃ. There also Shankara said vijñeyaṃ. Teacher, the student is now repeating those same words. Svātmatvena. Here, svātmana. Both are same. Both are tritiya vibhakti. Ittam bhute tritiya, Sanskrit students. And so svātmana, that should be known as the self. Svātmana means what? As that self. As the self. By the people or by the person who is mature and who understands, who has viveka, atma anatma viveka, that person should know. By that person, this entity which remains as pañcakośa vilakṣanaha svayam jyotihi avasthatraya sakshi nirvikaraha niranjanaha, that thing which remains after negating is to be understood as the self. That's what the teacher said earlier in the previous shloka. Now he is saying, by that same wise person, what can be known as the self? There is nothing exists to be known as the self. Nothing exists. I see only nothingness. That is what he is saying. Pretty straightforward observation. Okay, by the student. And sarvābhāvaṃ vinā. Other than the absence of anything, I don't see anything at all. So this is typically, this is where many of the so-called seekers end up. That is why Shastram is required. Why? Because only Shastram has to come and point out to this consciousness which cannot be seen at all, which is not an object. We saw it in Mundaka also. What did we see? Adreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam achakshushotram tadapānipadam nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam tadavyayam yad bhutayonim paripashyanti dhīrāha. I am saying it for my own benefit also. So you also should connect it like that. 1.1.6 I think. Mundaka Upanishad. Mandukya also recently you all quoted in one of the mantras. Atma Bodha, Monday's class, when we studied that Tavat Satyam Jagad Bhati Shuktika Rajatam Yatha Yavan Najñāyate Brahma Sarvadishtanam Advayam. We saw that in Atma Bodha, which came from Mandukya. So there he says, Adrishtam avyavaharyam agrahyam alakshanam achintyam avyapadesham ekatma pratyayasaram shantam shivam vibhum shantam shivam advaitam chaturtham manyante sa atma sa vijñeyaṃ. Sa vijñeyaṃ, there he says. Vijñeyaṃ. These are not arbitrary words, by the way. When more you study Shastram, they are just there. You can find out. See, every time we recall like this, something comes up. Sa vijñeyaṃ. Sa vijñeyaṃ. That same thing he said in shloka number 61. Saha vijñeyaṃ. So, adrishyam means what? Not perceivable. Atma is not perceivable. It's not an object of your perception. You just said, I see nothingness. Yeah, you see nothingness. Atma cannot be seen. When did I say Atma can be seen? When did I say after all this deep meditation you are going to suddenly see Atma? So that's what. People get all these ideas. They see, some light will come. Somebody sees Omkaraha. I saw Omkara. I saw Shiva come and bless me. That's excellent. This is excellent. How many people can meditate and Shiva comes right there as Nataraja or as sitting somewhere with cross-legged and then just blesses you like this. Okay, that's absolutely amazing. But that is you are blessed. But that is nothing to do with moksha. Please understand. That blessing is required. You are blessed. That is what it means. And if I go around teach these things to other people, you have to imagine. Shiva means they will start imagining. Instead of studying the Shastram, the whole exercise is now what? To imagine something, correct? Where is imagination and where is Shastram? Did we see any place somewhere where you have to imagine all these things? Any imagination is mithya. That is what Shastram is saying. So, that is why we have to. But the student is good that he is expressing his doubt clearly, her doubt clearly. And kimu vastvasti. What can be there in this state of nothingness? What Atma is possible? That is what he is point blank. He is just telling the teacher this particular statement. So let's translate this shloka. And one word I missed. Guess what it is?
niṣiddheṣu.
Okay, one more word.
Sarvābhāvaṃ.
Mithyātvena. Abhava I told you. Sarvābhāvaṃ, absence of everything I told you. Mithyātvena niṣiddheṣu. Even though I explained it, I did not connect it to this word. Niṣiddha is negation. When all the panchakoshas are negated, mithyātvena. Mithya here is not the mithya that Vedanta student understand. This is the mithya that he is referring to is absence. False. That is the mithya he is talking about. Mithyātvena means when you told me five koshas, I have eliminated all 5 koshas. I am now in fact I am in the deep sleep state. That is the maximum I can go. So I am in the 5th state. 4 states have been negated, really speaking. I really can't negate the deep sleep state. That Anandamaya Kosha I can't negate because that is avyaktam, really speaking. You need a little Vedanta to negate it. But blankness is there in the 5th state itself. Deep sleep is a blank state, correct? Deep sleep. Therefore, mithyātvena in the form of absence. What does Swamiji say? As false. I want to look at this. 1 second. Pañcasu as not true. Mithyātvena. Very good. Niṣiddheṣu. When I negate all the koshas as not true. Okay, correct? That mithyātvena refers to the koshas. Like you said, nāyamatma, ānandamayaha, etc. Nāyamatma, like that you said. Mithyātvena. As not true. Not true. Not true means not Atma, that's all. He still doesn't really understand the real meaning of mithya, the other meaning of mithya. The main Vedanta meaning of mithya, which is what? Dependent existence. Opposed to independent existence. Mithyātvena niṣiddheṣu. When I negate all the koshas and understand them as not true. Okay? That is his way of expressing the negation. Okay? And then kośeṣveteṣu, everything. So, vinā kiñcinna paśyāmyatra guro vijñeyaṃ kimu vastvasti svātmanātra atma vipaścitā. Atma vipaśyit. Atma jnani. Atma vit. That is what is atma vipaśyit. So, atma vipaścitā. This person who is supposed to know Atma, how is it possible when there is nothingness? That's what he is saying. That is the question of the śiṣya. Let us look at this. O Guru, translation. When these 5 koshas have been negated as not true, when these 5 koshas have been negated as not true, five koshas, because Anandamaya kosha is just pure joy. But that also is negated. Because Ajnanananda is there. You asked me to negate it. So I am saying that also is not Atma. If you say that also is not Atma, then what is left? Okay. So pañcasu kośeṣu. When these five koshas have been negated as not true, comma, I do not see here anything except I do not see here anything except the absence of everything. Sarvābhāvaṃ, vinā. Except the absence of everything. Full stop. I do not see here anything except the absence of everything. Is there indeed any vastu? Is there indeed any vastu to be known as oneself, svātmanātra, to be known as oneself by the one who is adept in the one who is adept in the deliberation upon the self. By the one who is adept in the deliberation of the self. Question mark. O Guru, when these five koshas have been negated as not true, I do not see here anything except the absence of everything. Is there indeed any vastu to be known as oneself by the one who is adept in the deliberation upon the self? Okay, next. श्रीगुरुरुवाच
श्रीगुरुरुवाच
सत्यमुक्तं त्वया विद्वन्
सत्यमुक्तं त्वया विद्वम्
निपुणोऽसि विचारणे
निपुणोऽसि विचारणे
अहमादिविकारस्ते
अहमादिविकारास्ते
तदभावोऽयमप्यनो
तदभावेऽप्यनो
सर्वे येनानुभूयन्ते
सर्वे येनानुभूयन्ते
यस्वयं नानुभूयते
यस्वयं नानुभूयते
तमात्मानं वेदितारम्
तमात्मानं वेदितारं
विद्धि बुद्ध्या सुसूक्ष्मया
विद्धि बुद्ध्या सुसूक्ष्मया.
Once again, श्रीगुरुरुवाच
श्रीगुरुरुवाच
सत्यमुक्तं त्वया विद्वन्
सत्यमुक्तं त्वया विद्वन्
निपुणोऽसि विचारणे
निगुणोऽसि विचारणे
अहमादिविकारास्ते
अहमादिविकारास्ते
तदभावोऽयमप्यनो
तदभावोऽयमप्यनो
सर्वे येनानुभूयन्ते
सर्वे येनानुभूयन्ते
यस्वयं नानुभूयते
यस्वयं नानुभूयते
तमात्मानं वेदितारम्
तमात्मानं वेदितारम्
विद्धि बुद्ध्या सुसूक्ष्मया
विद्धि बुद्ध्या सुसूक्ष्मया.
Yeah. Good chanting. Yeah. I remember Venkataramanji long ago when he started learning Sanskrit. Long ago means what, 5 years ago or something. So, it's doing very well. Hey Vidvan. How do you know this is Gururuvāca? Because there is a word, there is a phrase there called Hey Vidvan or Vidvan. Vidvan means Hey Vidvan. So that Vidvat is the Pratipadikam. Sanskrit students. Vidvan, Vidvamsau, Vidvamsaha. That's how it is. Hey Vidvan, Hey Vidvamsau, Hey Vidushaha. Sorry. Vidvan, Vidvamsau, Vidvamsaha. Vidvamsam, Vidvamsau, Vidushaha. I think that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Okay. All right. Hey Vidvan. So Guru is addressing the student. Vidvan is calling the student as a Vidvan, referring to that person. Somewhere also we saw some shloka earlier also in that dialogue. He referred to the student as a, I don't remember now what, but something to that effect. Vidvan. Because to come this far, you have to know a lot. You have to already appreciate that Atma, Anatma, Viveka has to be crystal clear. That there is something, I am not Anatma, I am not my body. This if you know, then that's it. After that, the rest is just detail. Therefore, the student is qualified to be called as a Vidvan. It's like that. Before they become a doctor, they start to, because when they are, they're in the final year of the medicine, right? They are doing interning and they are shadowing the doctors and all that. And at that time, what do you call them? Mr. or what? Mrs.? Miss? How do you call these people? Doctor only you should call, I think. Not a nurse, not an assistant. But so, okay, assistant doctor only. So something like that. So, tvāyā satyamuktaṃ. Uktam, told, said. What was said? Satyamuktaṃ. Truth has been said. Tvāyā, by you. Passive voice. Karmani prayoga. Karmanitta. Okay, vachidhatu. So, Sanskrit. So, tvāyā satyam. By you. The truth has been told by you. The truth has been told by you. It's really not the truth. But the truth has been told by you. Really not the truth means what? Hey, what remains is blankness is only, I see blankness only. But what remains, the shining Atma is remaining. Swayam Jyotihi Atma is there. Okay, but I don't see it. I don't see. Oh, this hall is empty. Nothing is there. You just said hall is there. You are also there in the hall. So many things are going on. Okay, there in that context, hall is empty is fine. It works for everybody. But here you have to go to what is there. And so tvāyā satyam uktam. Tvāyā satyam. What is told by you? The truth is told by you. That's what he says. And moreover, nipuṇaha asi vicāraṇe. That's the truth of this thing. Vicāraṇe. When it comes to this inquiry of the Atma vicharaha, when it comes to this Atma bodhaha, all kinds of bodha we are doing all over. Everything. WhatsApp, so many messages are coming. And we are looking at it. We are following only. Otherwise, why will you look at it? And something comes. And some Chinese doctors have lemon juice in the morning, it cures cancer. And then gada. You please tell me. Are you reading these things or not? You have to tell me the truth, okay? In this class, no, it's between you and me, don't worry. Truth. Have lime juice, it will cure cancer. And then it is signed, very interesting, signed by a Chinese fellow. Chinese fellow, if he says, it must be true, correct? Venkatraman or Jayakumar, if it says, how can it be true? Chinese fellow must be there, or Benjamin Franklin, or some other Western name must be there. Then it is believable. These fellows know exactly what we believe. And so, and this floats around. And nicely written. That too, these days ChatGPT also is there. It is so hard to refute it. This is Maya, I am telling you. Maya is so easy to understand. Oh, you all say, you complain Maya, you can't understand. What you can't understand Maya? It's so easy. It just creates a make-believe. And here he says, nipunaha asi vicāraṇe. When it comes to this Atma Vichara, you are a nipunaha. You are an expert. You are skilled at it. You are good at it. That means, skilled means what? Good. You got the hang of it. Nipunaha asi. Nipunaha means at least you have come to the point of blankness. Even without going to sleep, now we are talking, we are awake, but you are appreciating that blankness. You don't have to go to sleep in order to say, I see blankness. You have understood it. Wait, Guruji, I don't understand. Let me go to sleep and come back and tell you if it is. I don't have to say all that. Based on my experience, already we know. So, nipunaha asi vicāraṇe. Same idea. That is, in this kind of situation, you come as far as the people who come in this journey come. So you come that far. Nipunaha asi vicāraṇe. ahamādivikārāste tadabhāvo'yamapi anu. Too many words are there here. Tadabhāvaṃ is one word. Ayam is the other word. Api is the other word. Anu is the last word in the second half. First half of the shloka. Anu. There is a part of Veda also, if you want you can note down. There is instead of Anu, you find the word Atha in some books. Atha. Some of you may have noticed it. So it's alright, it can be Atha. We'll go with Anu. So I see Anu, so in Pujya Swamiji's book it is Anu. In my notes it has been Anu. And in Paramarthanandaji's notes it is Anu. And in Upasana Yoga also it is Anu. Only book where I see Atha is the Sringeri's book. Sringeri book is Atha. That Swamiji says. Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamiji. Okay? Atha. Alright. I see a peacock, if I say, yeah, you see a peacock, that's good. And this is all unique. Before coming to Coimbatore, I never saw peacocks. I mean, I had to go to a zoo somewhere and then somewhere, peacock is there. Those days, there was no video and all that. As in books, we must have seen peacock, I think. And so peacock, somehow you come to know. India's national bird, peacock and all is there. So somehow we know peacock. Okay, I see peacock if you say, you must be there, obviously. I am there to observe the peacock. The observer is very much there. And so, presence of an object, it requires me. What about absence of an object? I don't have a tumbler in my hand. Okay, all of you are nodding your head. Even to observe the absence, you have to be there. You have to observe the conscious presence, because of which you can identify presence as well as absence, both. And so, that is a kind of thinking, hey student, that is what we are going to be talking about right now. So, ahamādivikārāste, te means they, those. What those means what? Those panchakoshas, ahamādivikāraha. Aham means what? I. I here means what? Not Atma. I here means ahankara. Ahankara. The sense of I. I am whatever. Okay, that I am this, I am son of that, daughter of that. That kind of aham. Okay, I have so much to do today. That busy I. Okay, that aham, that aham which all of us have, understand. Adi means etc. Vikaraha. All these names and forms and roles and things that go along with I, that essentially define me as a person. Vikaraha. Vikara can mean change, or vikara can be form also. Either way you can use. The forms, ahamādivikāraha, that ahankara came in vijñānamaya kośa, adi, etc., etc., and all the other kośas. What are the other vikaras in the other kośas? Well, annamaya kośa, body is the vikara, body is the form. Then once you take off the body, then you have prana. Prana means pancha pranaha, all the physiological systems. So respiration, circulation, this and that, all the things that really sustain this body. That's what makes somebody say the body is alive or not alive. That is adi. So adi is etc. Then manaha. All that we saw. So ahamādivikāraha. Te ahamādivikāraha. You should reverse it. Put the te in front. Te. So Mahaswamiji says, te purvam anubhutaha ahamādivikāraha. Te, those things, purvam anubhutaha. Purvam, earlier that you have experienced, that I had talked to you about, like annamaya kośa, etc. Those ahamādivikāraha, tadabhāvo'yamapsanu api anu. And api, and also the pañcakosha, bring all the pañcakosha there, and also tadabhāvaha, all the vikaraha and their absence. I hope you are following. Tadabhāvaha, and their, tad means tesham abhavaha, shashti tatpurusha, tesham pañcakoshanam abhavaha, and the absence of all the pañcakoshas, which you understand and you've seen, you know what they are. Tesham abhavaha, their absence also, api. Anu, what is this anu? Following the recognition of annamaya, there is absence of annamaya. Following means thereafter. You see the presence of it, thereafter you see the absence also. Anu means following, right? Anu, Shastram anu. Like this, we use these words. Anu in the context of Vedanta means that. So the vikaraha, and then tadabhāvaha anu, and the absence of all the vikaras that follows the presence of vikaras. Okay, that is the journey you have taken, my dear student, and you express that only. And so I'm going to refer to that as the tadabhāvaha. That abhava is that's where your question is there. You have a pointed question you have asked. Absence. Is absence Atma? I mean, you didn't ask, is absence Atma? I see nothing other than absence. How can there be? There is no Atma at all. Which means absence is Atma. That is what you asked me. Okay. So, where is that shloka? Yeah, ahamādivikārāste tadabhāvaha āyamapi anu. Yeah, we saw that. And these two shlokas go together because there is a continuation. And sarve yenānubhūyante. Yena sarve anubhūyante. Yena, that by which sarve means all things, in this case pañcakoshaha, and all experience, world, all the vyavaharika satyam is experienced, pratibhasika satyam also experienced, dream also is experienced. Okay, yena sarve anubhūyante, that by which everything is experienced, including that nothingness that you experienced. Okay, including the nothingness. Okay, Tadabhāvo'yamapsanu vinā, right? What did he say in the previous shloka? He said, sarvābhāvaṃ vinā, he said in the previous shloka. Sarvābhāvaṃ, okay. Bring sarvābhāvaṃ. Bring the pancakośas, then you now bring sarvābhāvaṃ. Absence of everything. So, sarve, yenānubhūyante, that by which you can experience all these things. That by which all these experiences are possible. Okay. Yaha svayaṃ na anubhūyate. But svayaṃ means what? But that itself cannot be experienced. Svayaṃ na anubhūyate. Passive voice. All these are passive voice. And that which itself cannot be experienced. You try hard to see Atma. You dive deeper and deeper and deeper. Dive deep within. Our Swamijis and all, they will imitate all this. They will say, dive. That's how I learned this thing also. Dive deep within. And then, if you are blessed by your Guru, Atma will express itself. It will show. I'm not good at this at all. I can realize how bad I am. And you have to. Sometimes you know how bad you are, And so this acting and all is not coming for this. I have to listen to somebody who does this properly, and then I have to learn to imitate it. But so dive deep within the innermost recesses of yourself. It's very convincing. It's very convincing actually, I'm telling you. If I had gone to that kind of ashram, I think you would have not seen me here talking about Advaita and all that. Because it's so convincing. And peace of mind is also there. That's it. That's all you want. What is all this moksha and all that? Waste of time. So, that innermost recess, whatever you see, yenānubhūyate, svayaṃ nānubhūyate. That svayaṃ, that Atma you can't see. Why? Suppose I say I saw Atma. How do you know, Guruji, that you can't see Atma? How are you so confident? Okay. Suppose I say last night I saw Atma. You saw Atma, correct? Yeah, I saw Atma. You saw Atma, sure, absolutely sure. Yes, I saw Atma. Okay, who saw Atma? I don't know how long, what else? Did Atma see Atma? Or who saw Atma? Oh, wait, I saw Atma. Then who is that I? That's all I'm asking. Simple question I'm asking. Then you have to find another Atma who saw Atma. And this discussion won't go anywhere. It will not go anywhere. And therefore, na anubhūyate. Svayaṃ na anubhūyate. Okay. Okay. Audible, no? I'm audible. Right. There's been a power cut, but that's okay. I have to see this here. Okay. Tam atmanam veditaram vidhi buddhya susukshmaya. Okay. See, that is why negation, famous negation shloka you and I know. Mano buddhi ahankaram chittani naham. That whole shloka Chakra is just listing everything that is not there. So Annamaya kośa should come there. Pranamaya kośa should come there. Nacha shrotra jihve, nacha grana netre, nacha vyoma bhumir, na tejo na vayuhu, chidananda. So then what? Chidananda rupa shivoham. Not shunyoham, shivoham. That shivoham, and we understand that as chidananda rupam thanks to the shastram. Otherwise there is no way to figure out. Chidananda rupa shivoham. And so that is how I should understand. Not shunyoham. And so without the shastram I cannot get that benefit. I will end up into nothingness and I will get stuck there. And it will be convincing also. Because Ananda Rupa, nothingness is Ananda Rupa and that's all I want also. Therefore it is very convincing also. It is very convincing. And so, that is the essence here. That is why in our meditations and all, Swamiji would say Antarjyotihi, Bahirjyotihi, Pratyakjyotihi, Parat Paraha, Jyotirjyotihi, Aham Jyotihi, Atma Jyotihi, Shivosmyaham. At the end, Shivosmyaham comes because there is a temptation to assume something else. No, Shivosmyaham. Mandukya. The Shiva word comes from where? Mandukya, 7th mantra. You can look it up. Chaturtham manyante sa atma sa vijñeyaṃ shantam shivam advaitam. That's where it comes from. So anyway, that's what he's saying here. He's saying tam atmanam veditaram. That means what? Yaha swayam na anubhūyate yenānubhūyante sarve. That by which everything is experienced, including absence, presence and blankness and what not. And that swayam na anubhūyate, that which is by itself cannot be experienced. That which makes experiences happen, but swayam cannot be experienced. Tam, that. What is that? Atma. That Atma, Atmanam Veditaram. Veditaram, Vedita, one who, that because of which I know. Knower. In short, knower, N-O-W-E-R, knower. Veditaram. Vidhi, buddhya, susukshmaya. Vidhi, janihi, may you know. May you know that. Don't get stuck with blankness and all that. That abhāvaṃ. That abhāvaṃ also, you are correct, there is blankness, but you are able to observe blankness or not. You go to the observer, don't get stuck with blankness. Blankness is your perception. Good. How can you be what you see? How can you be what you experience? No, experiencing is drishyam. Okay. Yattad adreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam achakshushotram tadapani padam. So therefore you can't be what you're experiencing. Agrahyam, and you can't grasp it. You can't see it. Achintyam, you can't think of it. Because the thinker is, Swarupa of the thinker is you. It is not difficult to follow. It is Swarupa of the thinker is Atma. Not the Swarupa of the thought. Thought is blankness. Good. Mind is blessed. It can think of blankness also. It can imagine nothingness also. Closing the eyes. Good. These are all blessings. And so, tam veditaram vidhi. May you know. Vidhi means lot. Lot lakara. Lot, I think in English it's called imperative, I think. No? Imperative. This English, I'm not getting. Lot I know, but this 10 moods, tenses and moods are there. So, I think they call it imperative. Anyway, vidhi. And how should I know it? How should you know it? Susukshmaya buddhya. By buddhi only you have to know. This is Vedanta. This is Vedanta. By buddhi you have to know. Well, how else can you know all these things? Knowing means buddhi has to step in. Therefore, stun your mind. Your mind is the cause of all problems in life. Okay? Manaeva.
Manushyanam karanam
Bandha mokshayoho. Bandha mokshayoho. Manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. Bandha also, mind, your mind only is the cause. Suffering, bondage. And then moksha also mind. Okay, there moksha also mind. Therefore, buddhya, mind has to come. Mind is the cause of problems? Yes, that is correct. Solution? Is mind the cause of your problem? Yes. Therefore, remove the mind. If you remove the mind, problem will go away or not? You have a flu. How did the flu come? Bacteria is there. What does the doctor do? Remove the cause. If you remove the cause, effect will go away. Bacteria is killed and flu is gone. Mind is the cause of problems. So what should you do? Remove the mind. Problems will go away. Very convincing. Very convincing. And that's what he says also, nothingness. If I remove my mind, mind is gone. Nothingness means mind is gone. And that's it. That's good also. I want that state. That is why we don't call moksha as a state. State. Because why you cannot call it as a state? Because a state also by definition is temporary. You came to that state from some other state. So some other state died and this state is born. And now you are in that state. How long can you be in that state? Permanent you can be? Not possible. Hey, the human mind is fickle. It can never be permanent. Dhruva meditated on Vishnu for a long time. But he also had to come out of the meditation or not. Otherwise, how would he have a conversation with Vishnu? Please tell me. Meditating conversation? What is this? Vishnu standing right there and you meditate in front of God? God has come because of your meditation. So have a conversation with him. Why did you do all this? Hey Bhakta, prasannosmi, I am very happy with you. Enough, don't do all these things. What God himself is telling Dhruva, don't do all this. Okay, so, vidhi buddhya susukshmaya. Hey, what kind of mind it is? Susukshma buddhi. Why Sukshma Buddhi? What is Sukshma Buddhi? First of all, let's understand that. Well, a Buddhi that understands Atma Anatma Viveka. Anatma is gross. Atma is not gross. It comes under the realm of subtle. And not only it comes under the realm of subtle, it is not even subtle. It is subtler than the subtlest. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. Smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest. How are you going to figure it out? There is nothing. If you use science to figure it out, it's not possible. Science will say it is one of those puzzles, unsolvable puzzles. Smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest. That Shastram has no other way to say it. Because if you are looking for a solid object, perceivable object, it is smaller than that. As long as you perceive it, no. Did you perceive anything? Did you see anything? Yes, then that is not Atma. Smaller than the smallest. Mahato Mahiyan. What is the biggest thing you know? It is bigger than that. Means what? It is all pervasive. The subtler than the subtlest is all pervasive. And therefore, that buddhi has to think like that, has to get used to thinking like that. Sukshma buddhi. What did our Yama tell Nachiketa? Devairatrapi vichikitsitam pura. When he has anyatra dharmat, tell me that which is other than dharma and adharma. And he hit the nail on the head, Nachiketa. And now he is saying, Devairatrapi vichikitsitam pura. Hey, even the greatest gods that you have worshipped have given up. They have all kinds of doubts. Even today they have a lot of doubt. And that's why they are still in their roles. Then he says, Anuresha dharmaha. Anuresha dharmaha. Hey, don't ask me these questions. This dharma is sukshmam. Anuhu. Chakracharya says sukshmam. Anuhu. Anuresha. He uses the word anu there, which is sukshmam. So in order to understand a sukshma vastu, my buddhi should also be sukshmam. Means be like the Atma that I am thinking of. I am doing vichara of. Okay. Mahaswamiji says, Ekagraya buddhya. Ekagraya. Means now focus is important. You are now an adhikari. So for you, focusing should not be a problem. If WhatsApp creates problems, you keep WhatsApp aside. Keep the phone aside. Because this requires a little being with itself for some time. So, susukshmaya. Sukshmaya. It is subtler than the subtlest. Therefore, sukshmaya. Sushtu sukshmam. Means subtlest. Okay. Ekagrataya. Ekagra. Agre. There is only one thing in front of me. That is the ekagra buddhi. This atma vichara only is in front of me. Nothing else is there. So that is what Guruji is telling the student. Okay. So this anu, two meanings are there. I told you one meaning. Okay. One meaning is following all the vikaras, all the things that are there that you are able to see, annamaya, kośa, pranamaya, etc. Te vikaraha, and then abhavaha, tadabhāvo'yamapsanu anu. Okay, and following that, there is absence of that also. That is the meaning I gave you. Correct? Another meaning, I am anu. There is an I am word there. I am atma anu. Hey, those absences and presences are happening because of Atma. Following Atma only, all this. I must exist before I even open my mouth to say this exists, that exists, this does not exist. For me to say that I am Anu, I am Atma Anu. That is the second meaning of that Anu word. You can interpret it that way also. Both are okay. Pujya Swamiji says that first meaning he gives. Paramarthananda ji says second meaning. Alright, meaning of this shloka. O learned one, what was said by you is true. What was said by you is true. Pujya Swamiji says, the teacher is pulling the leg of the student. Really, he said, yesterday night only I was reading. Teacher is pulling the leg of the student. like sometimes we call somebody Brihaspati, and Brihaspati means supposed to be Brahmaji, knowledgeable, all-knowing. But sometimes the small knowing also is called Brihaspati, you know. So anyway.
Brihaspati
Yeah. So the advantage of the teacher is teacher can interpret this way, that way, without changing the meaning of the Upanishad. Okay, don't change the meaning. Alright. O learned one, what was said by you is true. You are adept in inquiry. But here he says you are an adept in inquiry. Okay, let's leave it like that. An adept in inquiry. I think that adept must be a noun or something. You are an adept in inquiry. Full stop. Through a very subtle intellect, may you know the one by whom, through a very subtle intellect, may you know the one by whom all those modifications from ahankara onwards as well as the absence that follows, as well as their absence that follows, within brackets you can say during deep sleep, are experienced, but who himself is not experienced, comma, as yourself, comma, the knower, full stop. So look at this sentence. O learned one, what was said by you is true. You are an adept in inquiry. Through a very subtle intellect, comma, may you know the one by whom all these modifications from ahankara onwards, as well as their absence that follows during deep sleep, are experienced, but who himself is not experienced, as yourself the knower. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.